What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. Moving on to another news, Ian Garry didn't hold back as he called Belal Muhammad an idiot for his fight strategy. The two have wasted no time ramping up the trash talk ahead of their anticipated clash. In a recent Instagram video, Garry took aim at the former champion, criticizing his approach during his UFC 315 fight in Montreal. According to Garry, Muhammad made a huge mistake trying to stand and box with JDM, a decision that proved costly. Garry said, Belal Muhammad, when he was defending his world title in Montreal, thought he could outbox a boxer. He was an idiot, and he was wrong. I hope he thinks he can try that with me. It'll just make my life easier. While the UFC hasn't officially announced anything yet, both fighters are expecting that a win could earn them a title shot, making this matchup even more high stakes. With the intensity between the two already heating up, fans can expect fireworks when they finally step inside the octagon. Before moving to the next news, we have one quick request for you. We are constantly working on improving our content to earn your love and support. That is why we truly appreciate it if you could take just a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on MMA Pulse News. Moving on to another news, US President Donald Trump has made a surprising and headline-grabbing announcement. During a recent event, Trump revealed that the highly anticipated UFC White House event will take place on his birthday, June 14, 2026. With excitement in his voice, Trump said, "And on June 14th, next year, we're going to have a big UFC fight at the White House, right at the White House, on the grounds of the White House." The announcement quickly sent shockwaves through both the political and sports worlds. Fans and fighters alike are already buzzing about what could be one of the most unique UFC events ever held. A fight card hosted on the White House lawn would mark a historic moment, blending the world of combat sports and politics like never before. While details such as the fight lineup and invited fighters are still under wraps, the idea itself has already captured massive attention. With the date set and Trump's trademark flair behind it, June 14, 2026 could become one of the most memorable days in UFC history. Moving on to another news, Daniel Cormier has made a bold statement that sparked major debate across the MMA world. Speaking recently, Cormier said he now considers Merab to be the greatest bantamweight in UFC history. He explained that while legends like Dominick Cruz have long held that title, Merab's relentless pace, consistency, and dominance have set him apart from everyone else. Cormier said, "All credit to the greats. Dominick Cruz, in my opinion, was the greatest bantamweight of all time for everything he did in the WEC and the UFC. But now, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe Merab is the greatest bantamweight who has ever fought inside the UFC octagon." He went on to praise Merab's work ethic and fighting style, calling him one of the most complete athletes he's ever seen at 135 pounds. According to Cormier, no one in the division's history has shown the same combination of cardio, pressure, and determination that Merab brings every time he steps into the cage. He ended by saying, "From what I've seen with my own eyes, I've never witnessed anyone better in this weight class." Moving on to another news, a major update has come out regarding the Raja Jackson case, and things are not looking good for him. Reports confirm that Raja is now expected to face 2 serious criminal charges after allegedly assaulting professional wrestler Psycho Stu. Prosecutors are preparing to charge him with felony battery causing serious bodily injury, along with a misdemeanor battery count. The incident reportedly took place after a heated confrontation turned violent, with witnesses claiming that Raja slammed Stu to the ground and punched him in the face more than 20 times, many of those strikes coming even after Stu had already lost consciousness. Authorities say the injuries sustained by Stu were severe, leading them to pursue a sentencing enhancement based on the level of harm caused. This means that if Raja is convicted, the penalties could be significantly increased. The attack left Stu hospitalized, suffering multiple broken teeth, a deep cut on his head, and serious trauma to both his upper and lower jaws. His family later revealed that he also suffered a fractured maxilla bone, which caused extensive damage and tooth loss. Raja was arrested last month but was released after posting a $50,000 bond. However, prosecutors have made it clear that he could now be facing up to 4 years in prison for the felony charge, plus an additional year for the misdemeanor offense. If the sentencing enhancements are applied, his total time behind bars could increase even further. This shocking development has sparked intense discussion among fans and insiders in both the MMA and wrestling communities. As of now, Raja's legal team has not released an official statement, but with the evidence and the severity of the injuries involved, this case could become one of the most high-profile assault trials in recent combat sports history. Moving on to another news, Henry Cejudo has shared his thoughts on Merab's future and made a huge claim that has fans talking. Cejudo believes that if Merab ever decides to move up to featherweight, he could actually beat Alexander Volkanovski. Speaking about the bantamweight division, Cejudo said that Merab deserves to face the winner of Umar Nurmagomedov and Mario Bautista next. He pointed out that Merab already had a close and competitive fight with Umar, and if he gets past a tough contender like Bautista, it might be time to take things to another level. Cejudo explained that Merab's pace, wrestling, and gas tank are unlike anything else in the sport. He said, "If he gets through this next fight, I think he should go up to 145 pounds. And you know what? Call me crazy, but I really believe Merab could beat Alexander Volkanovski." According to Cejudo, the idea isn't as wild as it sounds. He argued that Merab's relentless pressure and cardio would only improve at a higher weight, where he wouldn't have to cut as much. Cejudo continued, "If he's been able to do that to the majority of us at 135, just imagine him feeling stronger and fresher at 145. He could bring real problems to Volkanovski or anyone else in that division." His comments immediately stirred debate among fans and analysts, with some agreeing that Merab's non-stop wrestling and pace could pose serious challenges to the featherweight elite. For Cejudo, it's not just about the matchup, it's about Merab's mindset. He believes Merab has the confidence, durability, and skill set to push any fighter to their limits, no matter the weight class. And if that move to 145 ever happens, Henry Cejudo is convinced the bantamweight powerhouse could shock the world once again. Moving on to another news, the featherweight division is absolutely on fire right now. After big wins from Diego Lopez and Lerone Murphy, it seemed almost certain that Murphy would be next in line for a title shot, especially since Lopez already had his opportunity. But just when things appeared settled, a new name has stepped into the spotlight, Youssef Zalal. The Moroccan standout just scored a massive win over former interim title challenger Josh Emmett, extending his winning streak to 8 in a row. Following the victory, Zalal wasted no time calling out Murphy for a title eliminator bout, claiming it's the fight that makes the most sense if Lopez ends up getting his rematch with the champion. In his recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Zalal broke down his reasoning, saying both he and Murphy are on strong winning runs and that a showdown between them would truly determine who deserves the next title shot. He explained that the division is stacked with talent and believes that a clear contender needs to be established before the next title fight is booked. According to Zalal, "I beat Murphy and finish Murphy, I get a title shot. Simple as that. However, things might not be that simple. Movsar Evloev, the undefeated Russian contender, is finally healthy again after being sidelined with an injury and is expected to make his long-awaited return soon. His comeback could completely shake up the title picture once again. With his elite wrestling and unbeaten record, Evloev's return poses a major threat to everyone in the top 5. And if that wasn't enough, Aljamain Sterling is also now a real factor in the mix after his impressive win over Brian Ortega. The former bantamweight king's move to 145 pounds has turned out to be a successful one, and many fans are already calling for him to be thrown into the title conversation. The featherweight division has never looked this deep. From established contenders to rising stars, there's no shortage of potential matchups that could headline a pay-per-view. Zalal, though, remains focused and realistic about his chances. He admitted that Murphy might not be too eager to take the fight since he's already on the verge of a title shot. "I don't blame him," Zalal said. "He's probably waiting to see how things play out. If Diego gets the rematch, Murphy might have to sit out for a while. Maybe 9 months or even a year, depending on how that fight with Volk goes. But if not, then it only makes sense for him and me to fight next." He continued, "I just want to put my name out there, make sure people know I'm ready and that I've earned my spot. That was the whole goal, to make some noise and remind everyone that I'm right here in this division, waiting for my shot." With all these moving pieces, the featherweight division feels like a ticking time bomb. Whether it's Lopez, Murphy, Evloev, Sterling, or Zalal, the road to the belt is getting more unpredictable by the day, and fans are loving every second of it. Moving on to another news, Jiří Procházka opened up about the emotional moment he experienced after watching Alex Pereira's latest victory. Appearing on the Ariel Helwani show, Jiří revealed that his reaction wasn't simply about seeing Alex win or Magomed Ankalaev lose. Instead, it was something much deeper. Something that connected directly to his own journey and the realization of what could come next. Jiří explained that as soon as he saw Pereira get his hand raised, it hit him that a trilogy between them might actually happen. He said it wasn't happiness or sadness that overwhelmed him, but the sudden understanding that he could have one more chance to face Alex again. For Jiří, this wasn't just another potential fight, it was a moment of clarity that reignited his fire and purpose. He said, "I was so emotional because in that moment, I really realized that Pereira won and there is a potential fight between me and him. That means there is a third fight, a third chance for me to be successful. This is something that you have to win, or it's nothing." Jiri went on to share how the thought of a trilogy motivates him more than ever. The first two encounters with Pereira taught him valuable lessons about patience, focus, and resilience. And now, with both fighters evolving, a third clash could define his entire legacy. He admitted that the realization brought a wave of emotion because he knows just how much this opportunity would mean. "That will be the biggest challenge of my life," Jiri said. "And man, I really want to win. I know I take a lot of risks in my fights, but I also know I will find a way, whatever it takes." As he spoke, his tone reflected a mix of determination and respect. For Jiri, this isn't just about revenge or redemption, it's about proving something to himself. Every time he steps into the octagon, he embraces chaos, tests his spirit, and fights to rise above limits. Now, the possibility of facing Pereira once more seems to have reignited that warrior mentality inside him. And if this trilogy does happen, it's clear Jiri Prochazka will enter it with more focus, emotion, and purpose than ever before. Moving on to another news, Sean Strickland's sparring sessions with Khamzat have now been unveiled, and they're making big headlines across the MMA world. Just a day after Khamzat made his bold heavyweight call-out of Alex Pereira, things took an unexpected turn when Strickland opened up about his past training sessions with him, and he didn't hold back. Strickland detailed how he used to dominate Khamzat during sparring, exposing what he believes are the Chechen fighter's biggest mental weaknesses. According to Strickland, he was able to control and outwork Khamzat with ease once the initial burst of energy wore off. He went as far as to say that Khamzat struggles to maintain his composure and pace once the fight extends beyond the first round, adding that he quits when he can't impose his wrestling. Strickland also threw his own name into the mix, calling out Khamzat and making it clear that he's not afraid to step into the octagon with him. He even broke down why Khamzat's plan to take on Pereira might not be as simple as he thinks. According to Strickland, taking Pereira down is nearly impossible because of his natural stance, balance, and incredible core strength. He explained that Pereira's ability to instantly react to takedown attempts makes him one of the toughest fighters to control on the ground. Strickland, who's coming off a decision loss to Duplessis, is currently serving the final months of his suspension for attacking a fighter during an MMA event. Despite being sidelined, he hasn't stopped making noise in the MMA community. His fiery comments toward Khamzat have reignited interest in what could be a major clash down the road once he returns. During his interview with MMA Junkie, Strickland went on a fiery rant, saying, "Yeah dude, fuck Khamzat man. That dude made me realize I should wrestle again. I can't stand that guy. You know, everyone says nobody can beat him, but I've trained with him. I've trained with all the guys he's supposed to fight, and let me tell you, that guy can only grapple for one round. Once you get past that first round of scrambling, he quits." He continued, "After that, it just turns into a boxing match, just like what happened with Gilbert. Once he realizes he can't maul you, and you don't quit, he gives up and starts striking instead. There's nobody in that division who knows how to handle that kind of pressure like I do. I was mauling him and grappling. I've trained with those Dagestani guys my whole life, man. They live in the gym, and I've been around that grind for years." Strickland ended by hinting at a possible matchup in his comeback, saying, "I don't know, man. I would imagine me and Fluffy might be going at it next." That's probably the fight to make his comments have stirred major debate online, with fans divided over whether Strickland is exaggerating or simply speaking hard truth about Khamzat's weaknesses. One thing's for sure, this rivalry is far from over, and if they ever meet inside the cage, it's going to be fireworks. Moving on to another news, Bisping shared an honest and emotional reflection on what it truly feels like to be dominated inside the octagon. Speaking after Alex Pereira's stunning win over Magomed Ankalaev, Bisping explained that a loss like that can completely crush a fighter's spirit. He said that when you get beaten in such a one-sided way, it makes you question everything: the training, the sacrifices, and the endless hours spent preparing for that one moment. Bisping described it perfectly, saying that when a fighter suffers a defeat like that, it often feels like all the effort was for nothing. "You almost think," he said, "I might as well have not even bothered training, because look at what happened." He went on to explain that fighters give up everything for the sport: their social life, family time, and simple pleasures. They don't go to parties, they skip family gatherings, they don't eat what they love, and they definitely don't stay up late. Every single decision revolves around being at their absolute best on fight night. He added a bit of humor too, saying that a fighter might turn down something as tempting as a Dagestani beer, joking that even that small choice becomes part of the discipline. But when it all ends in an 80-second defeat, it hits hard. The pain isn't just physical, It's deeply emotional. The thought creeps in that maybe it wasn't worth it. Maybe all those sacrifices didn't mean much after all. Bisping also pointed out that Ankalaev, fortunately, isn't someone who constantly lives in the public eye. He's not a social media darling, he said. He's not jumping on podcasts or interviews every other day. Because of that, he can simply go back home to Dagestan, take a break, collect his paycheck, and disappear for a while. And according to Bisping, that's exactly what fighters need after such a tough loss. To step away, reset, and rebuild quietly. To wrap up, Bisping drew a lighthearted comparison to Jon Jones, saying, "You get smoked in 80 seconds, and you think, I might as well have just gone the Jon Jones route. Partied every night and still showed up to win." But beneath the humor was a powerful truth. Defeat in MMA doesn't just test your skills, it tests your soul. That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.